Eat corn and get RBT to 1 million subscribers by Christmas. Eat your corn. Love your corn. But you need to get RBT to 1 million subscribers by Christmas.
I'm guessing you guys didn't necessarily expect that intro. As a new era begins today on the channel with a brand new intro, the same era kind of stays with Mr. Bubbles because he's never gonna leave us. Because today, back with another Madden 21 scientific video, as today's experiment is kind of like every single NFL fan's worst nightmare. We're gonna see what would happen if every single NFL team lost their best player. Now, not only did they lose their best player, if you hop into free agency really quick, every single NFL team's best player is a free agent. We have Stephon Gilmore, Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes, CMC, Aaron Donald, Michael Thomas, George Kittle, Hopkins, Zach Martin, Khalil Mack, JJ Watt, Julio Jones, Fletcher Cox, David Bakhtiari, Quentin Nelson, Myles Garrett, Harrison Smith, Lamar Jackson, Trent Williams, Stephon Diggs, Levante David, Derrick Henry, oh, that one freaking hurts, Keenan Allen, Joe Mixon, Byron Jones, Earl Thomas, Kenny Galladay, Le'Veon Bell, and Myles Jack, all in free agency because they have been released from their actual NFL team in real life. And today we're gonna see what the heck would happen, how much the NFL will be screwed up. I mean, to be fair, it kind of is really screwed up already, like if we're being completely honest, with COVID and all the injuries and everything. But still, let's take it one step further and make things even more funky. Now, if you want to complain and argue that some of these players are not that particular team's best player, like bite me, I just went by Madden overall. I just cut the best player overall wise in each and every team. So if you don't agree with that, just take it up with EA Sports and that billion-dollar freaking company. I'm just a nice little young lad, like don't be mad at me. But boys, things are about to get freaking funky, as hopefully guys do enjoy today's Madden scientific video. And if you do, make sure to smash a huge thumbs up. Like Mr. Hugh Jackson said, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, because if and only if we do hit 1 million subscribers by Christmas, we're going to be doing a huge next generation console giveaway to my subscribers and subscribers only. 3 next gen consoles being given away to my subscribers. That's a value of like $2,000, but that's if and only if we do hit 1 million subscribers by Christmas. So make sure to take that millisecond that let's take, click that subscription button if you haven't. With that said, my dudes, we're going to go ahead in advance. Simply, let's go ahead and go to the regular season, because the first thing is we have to see what happened with every player that was a free agent, where they got signed to. Like some teams could assign 2, 3, 4, 1, 0, or 15 of those players that were free agents. So I'm just excited to see where all these players that were free agents ended up. Like, see if any of them had so much loyalty to that team that they were part of previously that they signed back with them. So first things first, gotta go over and see where every player ended up. It looks like my Titans didn't sign anybody, so we lost Derrick Henry. Now our starting running back is gonna be freaking Darrington Evans. So that's kind of stinky for us. Now the Vikings, I don't think they re-signed anybody either. I think Harrison Smith was their highest rated player and he didn't re-sign. Oh my god. So I guess we can look at it this way. So, that's already an interesting start. So, Patrick Mahomes replaces Lamar Jackson in Baltimore because he's now a Baltimore Raven. So, that's already kind of funky. So, how funny will it be if Patrick Mahomes replaced Lamar, Lamar replaced Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City? CMC ended up with the Arizona Cardinals. Aaron Donald went back to the Rams, so he has some loyalties there in Los Angeles. Stephon Gilmore to the Packers. Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos. George Kittle to the Washington Football Team. Bobby Wagner went back to the Seahawks. Khalil Mack went back to the Bears. Zach Martin joins the Baltimore Ravens in Patrick Mahomes, so he fills the slot of the retired Marshall Yanda. So that Ravens offense, even though they lost Lamar Jackson, is going to be even better. So right now, I think the Ravens are definitely my favorite to win the Super Bowl here. Travis Kelce went back to the Chiefs. Von Miller back to the Broncos. JJ Watt went to the Cardinals as well. So JJ Watt and who else was it? CMC and JJ Watt both went to Arizona. So Arizona could be somebody to watch out for. Oh, I'm freaking stupid. Travis Kelce was not their best player. Oh, I'm dumb. So to avoid that, let's just go by each and every team and look at it that way so don't duplicate teams. But it looks like the Bears re-signed Khalil Mack, and they also signed Myles Garrett. So imagine Myles Garrett and Khalil Mack trying to get after your QB. Looks like the Bengals, I forget who they lost. Maybe they lost Geno Atkins. I can't think of anybody that's a higher overall than him. So it looks like the Bills lost Stephon Diggs and he didn't re-sign. The Broncos got Russell Wilson and Von Miller came back as well. The Browns, they didn't sign anybody. So it looks like they lost Myles Garrett and didn't replace him. The Buccaneers, I don't think they brought anybody back. The Cardinals have CMC, JJ Watt, and David Bakhtiari. Jesus Christ. So the Cardinals so far and the freaking Ravens, the two teams to watch. The Chargers didn't sign anybody. The poor Chiefs look like they just lost Patrick Mahomes, and that's it. Indianapolis Colts, they bring in Fletcher Cox from the Eagles. They have DeForest Buckner and Fletcher Cox now on that defensive line. Their defense is already good, so that's going to be a good defense to watch out for. The Cowboys, looks like they lost Zach Martin and didn't replace him with anybody. The Miami Dolphins, looks like they didn't bring in anybody. The Eagles, they didn't bring in anybody either. So, oh, they brought in Le'Veon Bell and Myles Jack. Okay. So they lost Fletcher Cox, but they added a little bit to both sides of the ball. So that, I mean, they'll probably be a little bit better. Now, the Falcons, they lost Julio Jones and didn't replace him with anybody. The 49ers, they didn't sign anybody either. So I'm expecting like one of these teams. I know we've seen a couple teams like the Cardinals and the Ravens sign multiple people. But, like, there's got to be one team that signed, like, 10 people. Because a lot of these teams are just missing people. Now, the Giants, once again, I think they cut Saquon, but he came right back to them. Now, we have the Jags. They signed Trent Williams, but they did lose Myles Jack. The Jets, I mean, did anybody even get released off the Jets? I don't think anybody actually could be considered the Jets' best player, because they're all pretty stinky. Now, the Packers, they signed Stephon Gilmore. So, they have Stephon Gilmore and Jair Alexander. They brought in Keenan Allen. So this team is about to be insane. Gerald McCoy as well somehow landed on the Packers. The Packers are also a team to watch out for. Now we have the Panthers. They brought in Harrison Smith, but they did lose Christian McCaffrey, although in real life, like, Mike Davis is balling out. He's a 76 rated. He's been killing it. So, I mean, it sounds silly to say that they'll still be okay without CMC, but they've shown it in real life. They've won every game, I think, without him. Now, the Patriots, they lost Stephon Gilmore and didn't sign anybody, so I don't think they're going to be too great. Now, the Raiders, they did bring in Stephon Diggs. That's actually a really good wide receiver core they have now in Las Vegas, so they could be a team to watch out for as well. The Rams, Aaron Donald, and they didn't bring anybody aside from that. At least they brought back Aaron Donald. Now the Ravens, Patrick Mahomes, Zach Martin, Derrick Henry, and I think that's it. Like, for the rest of the league, they hope to God that's it. So, Jesus, imagine the Baltimore Ravens with Mahomes, Zach Martin, and Derrick Henry added to that offense. Jesus. Now, where did Lamar Jackson end up? George Kittle went to the football team, as did Quentin Nelson. So they could be a kind of little tricky team. Joe Mixon did as well. So they got a lot better on the offensive side of the ball. The Saints, they didn't lose anybody, I don't believe. Now the Seahawks, they have Lamar Jackson. So the Seahawks replace Russell Wilson with Lamar Jackson. That's definitely going to be freaking interesting. The Steelers, they didn't bring anybody in of note. Texans, ooh, they're even worse than what they are in real life. Is there any player that's still a free agent? 'Cause I don't feel like we just went over 32 players. Maybe we did. And no, looks like all the players got signed. So the team to look out for, I believe 100% is going to be the Ravens and the Packers. I believe that more than likely is going to be the Super Bowl matchup. Let me know your prediction in the comment section below. But at the same exact time, dude, this video's already been freaking funky. For all we freaking know, the goddamn Jags are going to win the Super Bowl, and they already suck in real life. Plus, they lost their best player, Myles Jack, according to Madden 21. So, I mean, just absolute funkiness I expect here today's video. But the moment of truth, we didn't make the playoffs, so that sucks for us. That's awful. So we went 8-8, so nobody really did great in this division, although I don't see how the Texans won the division, although they freaking lost their best player and they already suck in real life as it is. And the best record in the league is going to go to the Browns at 13-3. Didn't they? They lost Myles Garrett and they still have the best record. Buccaneers, I don't even think they lost anybody. It's just the regular Buccaneers team, they still balled out. Now there are the Ravens that I expected to have a good season at 13-3. I was a little surprised they didn't do better. The Patriots lost Stephon Gilmore, yet they still go 12-4. The Chiefs without Mahomes still go 10-6. The Packers, I expected them to do a little bit better. I mean, they freaking have Jair Alexander and Stephon Gilmore, like two of the best cornerbacks on the same exact team, but at least they still made the playoffs. They can make a run. Seahawks, the Cardinals didn't do as good as I thought, but they have talent, I think, even though they barely squeaked their way into the playoffs to win the whole thing. And aside from that, no real shockers, as the Vikings and the Jets have the worst 2 records in the entire league. The Seahawks made the playoffs with Lamar Jackson, so he still made his way in there. Now, still gotta check out what the heck happened and see who did win the MVP with his whole entire freaking... Oh, it's Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson on the Denver Broncos wins the MVP. Very well could win it in real life and wins it in today's video. Cam in second, A-Rod in third, Josh Allen in fourth, Patrick Mahomes on the Ravens in fifth, and that's 2 of the only players that were on different teams that made it in the top 10. Now, Russell Wilson, 42 touchdowns, 5 picks. No wonder he won the MVP. What a freaking year. So many passing yards this season. Now, running the football, Zeke was 1,600 yards, 15 touchdowns. Derrick Henry still eclipsed 1,000 yards, only 7 touchdowns. Leonard Fournette on the Bucs had a big season. Now, catching the football, Mike Williams of all receivers lead the league with 1,300 receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns goes to Christian Kirk with 18. Where did that come from? Now, the moment of truth. Which 2 teams do make it to Super Bowl 55? I'm still going to say the Ravens and Packers. I think those 2 teams have enough to get it done, and it's the Ravens, but it's not the Packers they're going up against. It's freaking Thomas Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So the moment of truth, is my prediction gonna come correct? Is Patrick Mahomes, Derrick Henry, and Zach Martin now on the Ravens gonna be able to hoist that Lombardi trophy in the moment of truth? And yes, they do. 42-21. That's why they call me the freaking Madden scientist. I'm a goddamn genius.